welcome to my channel. My name is Noy, I'm a 5th year medical student, and today I'm going to talk about my gynecological rotation. So let me just start out and say that I am recording this video quite a bit of time after I actually finished my rotation. So the gynecological department was actually my first department of the 5th year, so the first day was so exciting, and I just felt like I'm ready to take back the hospital and the world of medicine again. I'm ready for the patients, I'm ready to learn, and I want to know as much as I can. I was so pumped. And I actually got really lucky because the staff in the department that I went to was amazing, and everyone was so willing to teach the students, and I have nothing bad to say about them. They were so great. Our rotation was divided to 3 parts. The first one for me was the surgical part of gynecology, the second one was the clinics, and the third one was the obstetrics and the delivery rooms. Whew. Okay, let's get into it by order. So surgeries. If you've seen my surgery department video, you know that I love surgeries. I can't help it. It's just really fun. I love seeing what the surgeons do and like how they operate. I love it. I get really excited, like being there, talking about it, thinking about it. I love it. But it was actually like quite a lot at the start. At the first few days, I felt really exhausted by the end of the day, even sometimes by noon. It was just really a lot to take in because it was meeting the patients and going to the surgeries and seeing like the surgical clinics and doing everything at once and learning so much. It was a lot. It was kind of exhausting, but it was just so much fun while I was doing it, so I didn't even mind. So I found out that urogynecological surgeries are like the most elegant surgeries that I have ever seen. Haven't seen much, obviously, but I don't know, it was just like the way that they did it. It was just so elegant, and I know it's such a tiny part of the entire thing, but it was so beautiful and elegant the way that they did that. It might also just be because the specific surgeon was a really good one, but also during the more pelvical surgeries, the laparoscopical surgeries, they were really interesting, but at the end of the day, for me, it felt like it was kind of repetitive. I didn't really mind that because for me it's still interesting, but it was kind of the same over and over again. But the exciting thing is that sometimes they let us close the surgery, so that means that they let us God damn it, with this word again.
To sew.
But the really exciting part was that they sometimes let us sew at the end of the surgery, obviously just the skin, and they were with us for the entire time. As a person that really likes surgeries, that's just like, oh my god, I get to do something in the surgery, I get to participate. And I loved it. In the surgical part of the whole department, you get to know the patients really, really well, better than the other parts, because you actually get like to talk to them the day before the surgery, and you really get to know them and connect to their story. So some of the patients that we had in that part of the department were really emotionally difficult. Like, there were some stories that I got home and I couldn't like leave the stories that I saw that day behind. I couldn't get them out of my mind. Some are good, some are not so much. and I can only hope that they feel better now, even though they don't have everything they wanted from the surgeries. So the delivery rooms, well, that's a hard one. So theoretically speaking, I loved it. So I loved studying the theory of the delivery part and the labor and like everything that you need to do during the labor, and that was really interesting. It was really fun. I really liked it, but getting to the actual delivery rooms and the C-sections, wow. I don't know, it's just scary in a way. It's just like, so seeing the labor for me was like, I felt myself like clench up. Not because it seemed gross or anything, but it seemed like it hurts, and it seemed so hard and so painful and so stressful that I don't know, I felt it inside. It was hard for me emotionally. I didn't even see any labors that had complications in them or anything like that. I just saw really good labors, but still they were so, like, for me it was so stressful that, like, what if something happens to the baby? And I just, whew. The C-sections for me, like, they didn't seem better. I don't know, something about the whole thing that is so, like, urgent, and it was stressful. Let's leave it at that. It caused me a lot of stress, even though I know that obviously the parents were more stressed than me. Maybe it's harder because I didn't experience labor on myself and I don't know how it actually feels. But like, as a viewer from the side, it, like, they were really happy. They were so happy, but also it seemed hard. Like, I have no idea how they managed to do that. Most of the doctors at most of the clinics are really empathic and they know how to treat their patients, but some of them were just so horrible. I'm sorry, but like, they talked to patients and they did stuff to patients that I know that I would never want anyone to, like, treat me like that. And as a student, I didn't know what I can do. Like, I didn't know, like, should I say something? Like, because for them they just did like, that was their everyday. Like, and for me, I saw that and I was like, But like, on the other side, there were doctors that were so amazing and so empathetic and, like, taught us to never do anything or never touch anything before we say that we're going to, like, do or touch something, to always keep the patient with us while we're examining her. And from them I've learned so much. So when I was at the clinics, I got to see a few mini operations, and the ones that were really hard for me to watch were the curettage, where there is a fetus and you kind of just scrape it out of the uterus. It's not even a fetus yet at that point, it's just a bunch of cells, but seeing that and then, like, going to another clinic and seeing other women that are getting chemical abortion was really hard for me to watch, like, on the same day. Something about that on that specific day was really hard for me emotionally. I'm all about pro-choice, and if that's something that they needed or wanted or had to do, then by all means, obviously. But watching, like, an abortion after abortion after abortion after abortion from many different kinds was just really hard for me, because it got me thinking about all the babies that these women could have had, and I guess it was just a lot to process. And seeing how the staff is so accustomed to it and they they just do one patient after the other and they don't seem to feel anything about it. It made me think a lot after that. And well, to finish everything up on a brighter note, the highlight of the department for me was the senior that was in charge of us. He was such an awkward, adorable guy. He was like really awkward, funny and nerdy and nice, and me and my friends just loved him so much. I just laughed so hard at everything that he said or done, like just because it was like, that is so him. Like, he had a personality that I've never seen on anyone else before, and it was really interesting to be around him and like learn from him. Also, me and my friend might have stalked him a bit. It was for a good cause. It was to make him present at the end of the rotation, so it's okay. So, well, I'm tired. So that was my gynecological rotation. I hope to see you on the next video, and goodbye.